This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
So I'm Darrin Unruh. I live in Prairie, Kansas. I farm and ranch near there, just north of there, and then also up near Haven. My talk today was on the 5 principles of soil health or regenerative ag. Those 5 principles consist of minimal disturbance. That's both chemical and physical disturbance. The second one is to energize the system with diversity. Diversity is so important in the whole aspect of soil health. Nothing in nature works in a monoculture. We all have to have a lot of diversity, healthy plants, healthy soils, healthy animals, healthy food is what we're trying to raise. We've got to keep armor on top of the soil. That's another principle, is to always keep the ground covered in some way, diffuse the rain, protect the soil, feed the microbiome of the soil with the armor on the top of it. Another principle that we look at all the time is to keep a living root in the ground, and that's keep a living root in the ground 365 days a year if possible. There again, you're feeding the microbiome of the soil. You're feeding with a living root is giving out root exudates, pumping carbon back into the system, as well as feeding the bacteria and the fungi that are naturally in the soil and making the whole system work together. It's a whole system that's all got to come together. The 5th principle then is insert livestock into it. Doesn't have to be cattle. In my operation, that's what we focus on. I enjoy working with the cattle. It's my favorite one of the 5 principles. But livestock integration, whether it's sheep, goats, cattle, swine, all have their place. It just helps. It helps with the functioning of the system again. There's some kind of an interrelationship. I mean, our prairie soils were built with large herbivores, bison, deer, elk, and that's what our prairie soils are adapted to. So there is definitely a relationship. We see huge positive benefits by integrating livestock when they're fouling the soil with the manure, with the urine. It adds something back to, and it creates a more dynamic system. It just enhances the whole system when you use livestock. Those are basically the 5 principles that we look at. I like to add a 6th one. I think for different people is different. Some people talk about profitability needs to be the 6th principle. I also like to think integrity needs to be included in it. What are we doing? How are we leaving that? When I get up and look at myself in the mirror, am I moving the soil forward, the soil health aspect forward? Am I raising the best product that I can? Am I raising a healthy, nutrient-dense food to feed, first off, honestly, my family and myself, but then the community as a whole, the country and the world? I mean, we want to be raising the most nutrient-dense, healthiest foods that we can. And if we follow the 5 principles and have that kind of integrity to say that I want to really concentrate on raising the best, most nutrient-dense foods possible, how do we get there? And that's what this whole thing is about this week.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for that grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, and we're glad to answer it.